Hello everyone, Shavo here, and I'm going to bring you another StarCraft 2 game. This is the actual last game that me and my twos partner Omax played before the beta went down. And we were just playing around, so I went random and I spawned as Protoss. So I am the red Protoss here at the top. My twos partner Omax is the blue Protoss at the bottom, and we are facing off against a double Zerg. The purple Zerg by the name of Kefka, and the teal Zerg by the name of McGurk. This is on the map Tyrannus Assault or Tyrannus Assault. Not really sure what the map is. Now, I'm not very good at Protoss, so don't judge me as I don't know all that much about Protoss, and the only real thing I know is to do a 4-gate push, and that's pretty much all I do whenever I spawn as Protoss is random. I know I need to further expand my knowledge with Protoss, but you know, I usually just concentrate on Zerg. And that is a cool looking male Ursadak. That is pretty darn cool. So we've got Kefka's Overlord coming out to the middle over here just to kind of create a little scout point or an entry point so they know what's going on. And we have my probe coming out over here just to see what they're doing, seeing if they're going to go like an early pull or something. And I did notice that they were going, or Kefka rather, was going a 10 pull, so that's a little bit early for a Zerg player to do, and that means that they're probably going to rush. And we got McGurk over here going a pretty typical 15 pull, 14 pull or whatnot. So I go ahead and I just keep my probe over here as I thought that they might be trying to fast expand, or one of them would try and fast expand, so I was just kind of keeping them there, just kind of waiting for the drone to see what was going on. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here, scout it out, see that McGurk's pool is pretty standard, pretty typical, so I'm not really too worried about him. But Kefka, on the other hand, is already sending out his first 6 Zerglings to do some harassment. Now we've got Omax over here building a forge and a gateway, and I'm building my second gateway already, as I was expecting an early Zergling rush. So I chrono boosted out my first Zealot to kind of combat against that. Although 6 Zerglings are more than enough to take out that first Zealot, it's still going to provide him a little bit of time. So my Zealot was able to get a couple shots off on those first 2 Zerglings, and I was able to try and fend them off. So I kind of had to pull my probes off the line to try and take care of these Zerglings. I'm losing a few probes in the process, but I was able to take care of those Zerglings without losing too many probes. Looking at the units right now, I am pretty much at the bottom of the barrel right now because of that early rush. I only have 12 probes right now, and I'm going to go ahead and make 3 more probes to try and kind of even that out. Omax is hovering at 16, McGurk is at the top right now with 18, and Kefka is at the second to the last with 14. So looking at APM, my APM is still pretty decent, as I tend to spam, but I don't really spam all that much with Protoss, as I'm pretty busy just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm continuing to pump out Zealots as I figure that they're going to go another rush or try and push me again, as his first rush wasn't successful or as successful as he had hoped. So I was expecting a pretty early rush. And it looks like Omax is just kind of creating a pretty decent wall with his Zealots over here and his gateways. And he's going to go ahead and throw down his first, or the Cybernetics core over here. And both McGurk and Kefka are fast expanding, or expanding rather, and this queen is kind of just putting along, trying to get over to the expansion before it completes. Neither of them are going a lair tech as of yet, although McGurk is throwing down a roach horn with the spawning pool over here. He does not have metabolic boost in the process of upgrading, but that's pretty typical when you're going roaches, as you want to go lair tech and then upgrade to the glial reconstitution, which increases the movement speed, and he is going a lair tech as of now. So we've got Kefka over here with a few Zerglings and McGurk over here with a few roaches. And it looks like Kefka is now going to go with the metabolic boost and start pumping out those speedlings. I am actually pumping out the research for the warp gate over here, as I am attempting to do the 4-gate push right now, but I was put a little behind, as that first Zergling rush kind of put me a little bit on the ropes. And Omax is actually going a Stargate, so he's probably going to start pushing out some Void Rays here any moment. And he's going to go ahead and fortify his base just a little bit with some more pylons, as he doesn't want anybody to snipe some pylons or whatnot and put his gateways out of commission. And he actually sidelocked himself there, so he's kind of waiting on this one pylon to start or finish before he can get his Void Ray and his Zealots out. So he's got the first Void Ray coming out here, and McGurk and Kefka are just continuing to build up the Zerglings and Roaches, and that's pretty much all they're going right now. And we've got an infestation pit and a Hydralisk den and the glial reconstitution in the works for McGurk. So he's doing pretty well for himself right now, although he's not the fastest, but he's still doing pretty darn good. Both of them have their expansions up and running. Looks like McGurk is a little bit ahead right now. Let's look at the income. So income-wise, McGurk is to be expected as the highest one on the mineral count, because he has his expansion fully up and running, or not fully, but he has it up and running pretty decent. So it looks like he's got the groove spines being researched for his Hydralisk den, and that is the range upgrade for his Hydralisk. So he's going to have upgraded ranged Hydralisk over here. And we've got Kefka with his metabolic boost for his Zerglings done. So he now has Speedlings, and McGurk has a whole bunch of Roaches that he's using. So he's continuing to build up his expansion over here, and he just had a whole bunch of units or drones pop. And looking at the income, he is at the lead with 36 harvesters compared to the next highest, which is 30. So he is definitely in the lead as far as income wise. Going back to APM, I'm still at the top, but I'm kind of slowing down here. And I'm researching Blink for my Stalkers here, and I just got my 4th gateway up here, as I pretty much just know how to go Stalkers and Blink and just kind of do a little bit of Blink micro with the 4-gate push. So I'm not really all that great, and I have a pylon up over here so I can kind of like proxy some troops in as soon as the battle starts up. And it looks like Omax has his Void Ray coming out over here, and he already has 2 Void Rays, 3 now, that he's going to start pushing out. So he has a whole bunch of Void Rays that he's going to start using here, and I just plan on pushing like an idiot over here by myself without the help of my partner, and I go ahead and take out that Overlord. But he's got all these Roaches and a few Hydras coming in over here. They're taking out my Zealots fairly quickly, and I'm forced to pull back, as these Zerglings over here are going to be able to take care of my Stalkers. If I don't get them out of there, I go ahead and blink out of the way and just push back, because I realize that this is nowhere near enough forces to take care of what they have already. And Kefka is sending out his Zerglings over here to kind of pick off a few of my Stalkers, and what I really need to do is just kind of micro them around a little bit, but I don't, and I just kind of push them back. So with that, they know that we don't have very much, and they decide to go ahead and push in. So they're going to go and push in on Omax, but they realize that he can't get in, as he does have that kind of wall made from Zealots and whatnot. So like an idiot, I have my Stalkers over here just kind of engaging. I don't micro them as well as I should, and I'm going to go ahead and lose most of my Stalkers in the process. However, Omax is over here, and he kind of went around to the back, and he's starting to harass the mineral line of McGurk with his Void Rays, and he's going to go ahead and take out the Queen. All the while, McGurk is going ahead and he's pushing in on Omax's base, but I have some Stalkers over here that I'm trying to fend off as he is going over here and pushing with his Void Rays over in McGurk's base. So it's kind of like a base race between the two, McGurk and Omax. And Omax has a great force field placement right there, so he can't push any Roaches in there, and I am able to come up with just enough Stalkers to take out the rest of these remaining Roaches. All the while, Omax is continuing to just destroy McGurk's base with his Void Rays, as McGurk didn't build any anti-air over here, and he's making some Hydralisks right now, but these Void Rays are fully charged, and they're going to easily take out those Hydralisks, as he didn't have very much to deal with in the first place. So he's sending in 4 more Hydralisks, and it looks like Kefka over here sent in some Infestors into my base and was able to take out all of my probes, as those infested Terran are able to